Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome. It's time for love in the full moon. So this is a general love reading for all Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Take what works, leave what does not. We all know who we are in the story. So, dear universe, what messages do you have for our Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? For this full moon, all of our Sagittarius in love. Dear universe, what messages do you have for all of our Sagittarians in love at this time, dear universe? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. All of our Saggies in love. What's going on? One more shuffle. Messages for the greatest and highest good for this full moon. For our Sagittarians in love, we'll start with your overall energy, which is love. Maybe recently some of you have had a love spat, or you're just not on the same page. There is this energy of you questioning whether or not you want to have a future with someone, or whether you should end it here and move on. This Queen of Swords, I think she doesn't want to see, she doesn't want to admit the truth of how she's feeling is what I get. You know, I think you saw that you questioned whether or not you were going to be happy in this relationship. Some of you may have been feeling past, like going back to like issues of the past, like what has happened to you in the past that has hurt you in your relationship. And I don't know whether or not you feel like you can forgive this person for what they had done to you. So there's a part of you that I think is wanting to see really clear before you make any decisions. So if you did recently have a spat, I think things were pointed out that needed to be pointed out, that you've been carrying around like this heaviness of like you've been wanting to say something to this person and you have not said it, you know, because you didn't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. But meanwhile, you're hanging around with this heaviness going, oh my God, I wish I could really tell him. And I think you get to a point where you realize that you have to say something, you know, because you're not real sure whether or not you want to continue with this person who you are with. You know, so I do see that there is love between the two of you. So let's get a little bit more clarity on what this burden is that's keeping you from really opening up and I think really being with this person, because I get the sense that you don't feel like you know whether or not you can make this work and there's a future, but I do feel like your person feels like there may be, you know, because they're willing to give it a try. So this full moon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's a lot of full moon energy going on here. So this relationship right now, I think a lot of this issue is going to come to light is about your future or not with this person. So you've got a lot of anxiety about this one. Yeah, because you've been really keeping to yourself, not wanting to open up. All right, let's see. Let's get some clarity on this reading. Ooh, you're so mixed. Because you don't want to pretend anymore. Did you see how this card was jumping? You know, when the Two of Pentacles is reversed, it's about, you know, pretending that everything is good when it's not. When it's upright, you know, it's about trying to balance everything and all your emotions. And I feel like there's a little bit of that going on with you. Earlier this morning, you had come to mind as really needing your privacy. And I think right now that might be some good advice coming your way, is that maybe you need to just sit with yourself because you're confused about what to do, whether to stay or to go with this person. All right, let's see. What else is going on for our Sagittarius? So a few of you might be pregnant and not able to move. That's, you know, you might have a little baby, you know, like an infant. It's keeping you at home. For some of you, maybe some of this future is, I get the feeling of postpartum depression. You know, like you just don't know how you're going to make this work. You know, it's more than what you thought. So I think there's a lot of internal conversations you're having with yourself about you and your baby and trying to make it all work. And, you know, your husband, they're demanding, you know, they need attention. And I think you're trying to figure out how are you going to feed everything. There's a lot of worry and concern on your mind, a heaviness about, you know, you and this child. But I think you're okay, you know, so, and you should let go of those worries. Now, for the person here who really questions a future with their person, you know, you're really resistant because you're not sure whether or not that's what you really want. You want to make a good, solid decision. You don't want it to be based on emotions. And like I say, I think you need to just kind of be quiet. You know, this privacy is what you need. When you're feeling so confused, Sag, I think just being still and in your own space is more the answer than anything else. Because you, as a Sagittarian, you're very private. All Sagittarians are very private. Okay. All right, so let's get some advice for you regarding the spread. Yeah, I think you need to let go of the worry and the anxiety of what you're going to do. You know, for some of you, you worry a lot about your children or your child, this baby that either you're carrying or you just had. And I think you need to let go of all of that anxiety. You know, it's like that kind of, I call it stinky thinking. You know, you're worrying over nothing. Now, for another scenario, you know, you may have abandoned something that you thought was going to be a really good idea that later you saw did not work. Because I do see you doing that. Maybe you were involved with, it was a project that you and your person were going to do. And I think there's some remorse on having to let something go. Because I think in your mind it was your baby, you know, it was like you were going to make this happen. So there's a lot of endings that are going on and a lot of new beginnings around you. So letting go and just kind of being with what is new and what you're processing. Yeah, you're really trying to balance your emotions. Because there's this relationship, you're confused. You don't want to walk away from it and put an end to it. You want to work on it. And you want to make things, turn things around. But I think, you know, you're really concerned with what you really feel towards this person. You want to be happy. You want to make things work. You know, but there's something about it that is not, that you're holding on to, that you're not expressing, that needs to be shared with your person. Because if you're really unhappy in a relationship and you're not letting the other person know, that's not fair to them, you know, because they're trying to figure out what's wrong, you know, and if it's not about them and it's just you, then, you know, I think you need to let them know. All right, so lots of messages for you, Sagittarian. See, you don't want something to come to an end, you know, but you also don't know how you see a future. You're not willing to walk away. I think you're willing to give it some more chance, you know, some more chance, another opportunity, and work on it a little bit more. Yeah. Anything else for our Sagittarians? Yeah, there's a fresh new start for you, a new beginning. You're very guarded, though, right now. Okay, so in regards to something that, you know, you're not wanting to put an end to and walk away from. And it could be this baby of yours, you know, this project, this idea, this thought. You know, you're not willing to put an end to it yet. And that may be good, because I think what you might need to do is step back so that you can have a fresh start and a new perspective. Because you're not going to give up. You're not willing to give up and close this door yet. But you are guarded, you know, but you do see that there's a lot of potential in this relationship, you know, and you do see a commitment. So I think you need to be very honest with your emotions and what you need to share and express, because, you know, the confusion is coming from you not being really clear with what it is that is wrong, that's making you so sad, you know. in this relationship. Because, you know, like, I just feel like your person doesn't really know what to do. They don't even know what to offer you anymore, because they keep trying to reach out to you, but there's a part of you that's really shut down. And again, this need for privacy. I feel like, you know, you look at whether or not you should end this relationship. You know, whether there's really anything to be salvaged. So I think a real deep-seated conversation is in order between you and your person about your relationship. I think it's time to really sit down and really talk about, you know, how you guys feel about each other. You know, because if there's something from the past that is holding you from back and you can't let go, something that they did to you, you know, things like that. I just feel like a real heart-to-heart conversation is in order. And then I think you'll find there's this energy of this fresh new start and beginning. So there's a chance to get rid of all this heaviness. You just got to talk and open up a little bit, you know, and then you're going to feel more stable when everything comes out. Because here you are, the queen with the king. You'll feel much better. Yeah. So for now, stay put and kind of get a control of your emotions. All right, anything else for our Sagittarius right now? Saggies, anything else for our Saggies? Yeah, I think you're willing to do the work and keep going for this relationship. You know, because you don't want to feel, because I get the feeling that you feel very alone in this relationship, and that doesn't need to be. There's a lot of hope for the two of you. So hang in there, Saggies, all is well. And like I say, I think some of it, if you are pregnant or you just recently had, you know, a baby, you know, sometimes your body, you don't feel good, you don't feel beautiful, you know, but your person sees a whole different you. You don't feel good, but they think you're beautiful. You know, they love you. They want to make it work. I see that. You know, so put an end to this stinky thinking and what's in your head, and, you know, snap out of it and, you know, enjoy what's around you, because you're willing to do the work. So do the work, right? Yeah. You've got to look at what there is left. You know, don't keep looking at what didn't work between the two of you. That's not going to get you anywhere. You know, look at what really works. You know, so that you can let go of this heaviness that you've been walking around with. All right, so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this resonated. If it did, that's terrific. And if it didn't, that's okay. I'll be doing more readings. Next week, I'll throw out some bonus readings. And then the following week, we will have Love in the New Moon. I am open right now to taking some private readings. I'll be doing that and keeping that door open until December 21st. So if you do want a private reading, let me know. All the contact information will be below. So until the next reading, blessed be. Take care of yourselves, Sag. And I'll see you at another reading. Bye now.